Yeah. So good evening. Good evening, student. Good evening, Pak Tora, respected speakers, and dear participants. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to warmly welcome you all to the online collaborative short course 2025, a collaborative program between Telkom University and University Technology Malaysia or UTM. Today, we are very excited to continue our journey with chapter 3, ya Pak. Today,
Yep.
AI and machine learning.
Yep.
Under the grand
The
theme,
grand thing,
digital transformation in
digital
accounting,
transformation in accounting,
a global perspective on opportunities and challenges in Industry 4.0. So before we begin, allow me to share some basic rules for today's session. The first one, during the speaker's presentation, kindly keep your microphone muted. If you have questions during the talk, please write them in the chat box. We will address them later in the discussion session. And in the discussion session, participants are encouraged to ask questions directly to the speakers by unmuting your microphone. And at the end of the class, please turn your camera on for a group photo session. Lastly, don't forget to fill out the feedback form at the end of the program because it will help us improve our next session and also allow you to receive DE certificate. Yeah, sorry. So I hope everyone will gain new insights and inspiration from today's discussion. So today we're diving into the topic of AI and machine learning. Hopefully, by understanding AI and machine learning, equip students with future-ready skills, ensuring you remain competitive in a rapidly evolving digital economy driven by Industry 4.0. So it is an honor to welcome our speaker from Telkom University today, Dr. Tora Fahrudin STMT, who will share his expertise and insights on this exciting topic. So, Dr. Tora, are you ready?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, then the screen is yours, Pak.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Astri.
Yeah.
And uh, I I still prepare the material, yeah. Please wait for me.
Iya, Pak.
Okay. Okay, nice to meet you, all of you, the students, maybe from UTM and also I see from the accounting information system student also already in here, yeah. Okay. May I share screen, Miss Astri?
Yeah, sure, Pak.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Now, yes, it's
Okay.
visible.
Actually, it is still now running Rakornas Aptikom in Lampung.
Oh, I see.
Okay, but no problem, yeah, no problem. I can uh, see in the recording of the Aptikom tonight in
All right,
YouTube, yeah.
Pak.
Okay. Uh, this is our topic today, guys. AI and machine learning, and I will bring all of you to see what is the implementation the AI in, especially in finance, yeah, finance and accounting. I think this material is also uh, I have been present it maybe 1 week or 2 week, yeah, I forget, but I add some new material, yeah. So for the student from the accounting information system, you can uh, get a lot of material than before, yeah, before I share. This is my background. My name is Tora Farudin. You can call me Pak Tora, gitu ya. And uh, my major or my interest in applied AI, applied artificial intelligence. And uh, if you want to keep in touch with me, you can also send an email, yeah, into my email to rafarudin@telkomuniversity.sc.id. Okay, my background is from the informatic engineering, and I get the master from telecommunication management and doctoral from computer science. This is my project, yeah, with my student. The sum of the all of project, yeah. The application for early warning information dissemination in a community, and then sales projection for Puritami, yeah, using machine learning, and then the farming business application, Yutani, and basic accounting journal learning application based on Gen AI and Ruta X. Okay, actually, I have specialists in the finance, tourism, and education. Okay, I will give you some point. Yeah, we have the maybe 4 point tonight. The first one is AI and machine learning, and the second one is key concept and how the technique of that AI and machine learning, and the third, I want to focus on how we can create the human AI, yeah, human AI collaboration, especially in accounting. And the last one is a discussion. But I think, Miss Astrid, if any student who wants to ask something, you can raise your hand, yeah, or you can chat, yeah, Miss Astrid, yeah.
Yes,
Maybe
yes, sure,
okay,
Pak. Mhm.
if any student want to interrupt me, okay, no problem. Please chat or raise your hand. Okay, okay. For the first one, I will uh, uh, story, yeah, story about the AI revolution. It's began on 1940 until 1950. The first one is the Turing test for AI. That is the the history, yeah, the first history of the AI revolution, and it's continued to 1960 until 1970 that the first expert system was uh, conduct or was created, which is Dendra and machines, the expert system, yeah, and it continues to 1980, which is the expert system is implemented in business, and for the AI, it is AI winter session. Yeah. AI is going down because uh, the hardware is not supported uh, compared to uh, now. Yeah, in the current area, the hardware is very fast, and then the complexity of the hardware is going increase. So the AI is, uh, I think AI is find their way to get the maximum capacity of AI. It is the interesting, I think, in 1990, yeah, which is there is uh, match between human versus AI. Deep Blue is actually AI source code, yeah, AI program that's match the Kasparov. It is a human. Uh, what we call it chatur, Miss Astria.
Chess, Pak.
Oh, chess, yeah, yes, chess. The chess tournament, and they are in the twice, yeah, the twice game. The first one, human can beat the AI. Yeah, Kasparov is win in the first match, and then it's rematch again, and AI win. Yeah. Win can beat the Kasparov. Nah, that's the human or the people can see that, oh, AI can beat human. So in that era, yeah, it is become of the rise of the AI. Actually, in 20, yeah, in 20, I'm sorry, 2000, yeah, 2000, uh, there big data and the modern computation is come. Big data is actually acronym or uh, extend for the velocity of the data, uh, velocity, volume, and I forget one. The one is volume, variety, and velocity. That's the term of the big data. And then 2010, uh, AlexNet is creating the deep learning. Yeah. It has been implemented, yeah, to recognize the image, and the accuracy is uh, high, very high. So the people is uh, actually have the new concept how the artificial neural network can be enhanced by using the more deep the layer, yeah, more deep layer. So it become the deep learning concept. And the final is from 2020, I think, which which is the Gen AI. AI can also recognize not only about the for the classification, but more a lot of the uh, object such as text, image, video, and music. AI can recognize them, and AI can create them very well. Uh, Maybe in this current era, we cannot recognize it is real or fake. Okay. How about the machine learning revolution? I think it is similar, yeah, to AI. That the first is 1940, that's the foundation of machine learning, and then early algorithm theory uh, in 1960, and then 1980 revival with new method, 1990 growth and practical application, 2000 data and big tech adoption. I think they're on the same, yeah, deep learning era. What is the relationship between AI and machine learning, sir? Okay, I will answer it in the next slide. Yeah. And for the last AI democratization and large model, I think some of student is confused. Yeah. Uh, uh, for the first time, they know about AI or machine learning. Maybe it is the same thing, but actually it is different thing. Yeah. Uh, when we talk about AI, AI is more larger, yeah, more larger. It is broad field of the computer science. Machine learning is one of the AI. Machine learning is just one of the AI implementation. So if we talk about AI, it is uh, more larger, yeah, larger concept. Uh, the definition of AI is actually a program that can sense, reason, act, and adapt. One of the adaptation is machine learning, whereas the machine learning is only focused to uh, learn from the data and then uh, make some model prediction, yeah, and also the explanation about what does the insight of this data. Okay, I hope the student can understand uh, what is the main difference between AI and machine learning. AI is more complex. Machine learning is one of the sub topic ya, subtopic of AI. Okay, now I want to uh, enter. I want to I want student know about the type of the task in machine learning or AI. Yeah. Which one is supervised learning? The definition of the supervised learning is uh, where the model can learn from the label data. Yeah, they uh, they process some input and become output. We can see that in this illustration. Yeah, uh, we need to give the label to annotate the label first. Yeah, before uh, we 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 conduct the algorithm to create the model. So the model cannot running before uh, we make or we create the annotation first. Actually, in this example, we have the some picture that is the apple, yeah? Apples, three apples, and we give it the annotate that it is apple. It is red, and then it has green of leaf and etc. And then we can also give the annotation about how banana. Banana, oh, banana is yellow, and then uh, it is long shape, and etc. After we give it the label, yeah, so we can use the sum algorithm, decision tree, yeah, one of the algorithm, SVM, or KNN, yeah, K nearest neighbor, naive Bayes, uh, random forest, yeah, and etc. Yeah. So after the algorithm is run and can create the model based on what is they learn, yeah, from the data and those labels, we can test it, yeah, test the model. We have the some uh, picture, and the picture is doesn't have a label. After that, we can uh, apa? We can take the model, and the model can predict what is this uh, fruit. Yeah. Oh, it is apple because it is red and etc. Oh, it is a banana because it is a yellow and etc. So it is the concept of the supervised learning. And what is different between supervised and unsupervised? Yeah. Unsupervised, uh, the difference is we don't need to uh, create the annotation first. So it is the input is raw data as it is, as it is unlabeled data, and then the algorithm is uh, calculate the similarity between the one object to the other object, calculate, and then he can make the sum group, the group based on its similarity. Okay, so in this example, we can see that onion, yeah, onion is the different if we compare to what is terong, yeah, terong or paprika, yeah, it is a different concept. So the algorithm can create the different group. I think this is the very important thing, yeah, for the new student that want to know what is the main difference about the supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning, we don't have the label, but for the supervised learning, we need to give it the label first. Okay. Okay, I will give some example on how supervised learning is implemented. Actually in accounting, yeah. Okay. Anybody knows what is this uh, topic? You can chat or you can, yeah, raise your hand, open your microphone. Okay, nobody. Okay. Uh, I think it is a very simple uh, the data that illustrate the how supervised learning is conducted. Yeah. Okay. First, we have the some data, and the data is talk about how the the loan, yeah, the loan decision, it is risk or safe, yeah, based on the age, yeah, and income. We want to make a model. So for the uh, new data, we can predict the data. It is a safe or risk categories. It is a very simple, uh, I think very simple example. Yeah, first the one, yeah, the Sandy Jones. He is a young person. He has low income, and the loan decision, it is risk to give him loan from the bank, yeah, because she is still young and she didn't have the enough income. Okay, but if the the other example, especially this is the Caroline Fox, yeah, the X is the middle X, and he has high income. So if he want to make some loan, yeah, the decision from the bank is safe. Okay, you are safe because you are the middle X, you still have the long X, and you have the high income. Okay, so the model is based on the historical data. It can create the model and predict from the new data. This is the example of the rules classification. Yeah. If it's yacht, then loan decision is risky. Did it is we created or algorithm created? It is algorithm created. Yeah. This is not uh, ourselves, yeah, to create the rule, but it is created automatically by the algorithm. So, well, how can it create the classification rule? Yeah, the algorithm can create the classification rule based on the data. The data. It has some technique. Yeah, I cannot explain the detail in this section. If you want to explore by yourself, you can uh, open your book, data mining or machine learning, or you can see in YouTube. Yeah, I think there are a lot of the explanation about how the algorithm, the example of the classification algorithm is run. Okay. Okay. I will give some example of that example before it. So, uh, this is that I do. I'm sorry. The first one, I create the code in Jupyter Notebook or Kaggle or Google Colab and or etc. Yeah, the same program. If you want to try by yourself, you can type this link, yeah, bit.ly uh, 42FYYQL3, yeah. You can uh, type it in your browser, yeah, maybe just like this. I have put some code, some the example, and I I will show you how it can be implemented. Yeah. Okay. The first one is I created by using the Kaggle. Yeah, Kaggle, just like this. I have the data. This is the data from the slide before. Sandy Jones, the X is young, income is low, loan decisionnya risky, and then etc. Yeah, I have only six the example of the data based on this this example. Yeah, and then after that I can create the model. Yeah, the model first, which is I use the decision tree classifier. Yeah, classifier. I encode first uh, to the one hot encoding. Yeah, encode because uh, they need to be numerical representation. Yeah, and then I divided those attributes into two kind of type. The first type X, yeah, X is feature. Like in my slide, yeah, you can see that it is feature. Feature is the attribute which is used to create the model or to predict input, yeah, from the input to for predict. And Y, yeah, this is for the label. This is the label, yeah. In this slide, this is Y, yeah, loan decision, and for the feature age and income. We don't have to include the name of those model. Yeah. Why? Because there is no relationship between the name and the loan decision. I mean, if the name is Bambang, it is a tourist. Oh, Bambang is a no. There is no correlation. If the name is Jokowi or Prabowo, there is no correlation. The correlation is between the X and income. So we don't need to put the name as the input of this model. Okay, and then I can call the decision tree classifier. Okay, and fit it until we get the model, and we can save the model. Yeah, and we can also save the encoder. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I need to encode the data because the data is need to be represented in numerical. And then after that, what should I do? After that, I need to create the model, and I need to install the Flash. Yeah, Flash it is the sum of the uh, API. Yeah, API or web server in Python. How it can uh, how it can run? It is simple. Yeah, if we want to see what is the Flash, it's just like this. Yeah, you can see this. Yeah, this is server Flash. Oh, it is need to be download first. Yeah. Okay. Oh, let me open it first. Yeah. You can also open it by yourself and see what is the code inside that file. Yeah. and I guarantee that it is simple. Yeah? It is simple. I'm sure that you are understand what is the code. I'm sorry, my laptop is still running, and I'm still waiting. The notepad, my notepad plus is open because it has some windows open, and it become the hard to open it. If you have any question, you can raise your hand, open your microphone, or chat. Yeah. Okay, it is open now, and I will uh, share again. Nah, okay, you can see my screen now. Yeah, it is the sample how we can use the Flash first to uh, load the model, load the encoder, and make the sum route. Yeah, sum route. Uh, which if we call this route and give the form, yeah, it this encode first, yeah, it's read the form, the value of that form, encode them, and predict. It is the prediction, and uh, he written it in JSON format. Okay, it is the Flash, yeah, it is the Flash. The job is simple to serve the request of any program that need to request the API. I give it sample. I use the PHP, yeah, and I also give it to you. This is the PHP platform, yeah, Applied AI. Maybe I can open it for you. Okay, it's also download here, and I need to. Hey, no download there. This is it. Okay, so it is very simple. The PHP function is only need to create the form and call the API. It is the form, it is the API, yeah, this API from the Flash, and we supplied it with two values, age and income, and this is actually the form HTML form. Yeah. I already start it, yeah, it is already start, and I also already start the server of Flash. Okay, and this is the example. This is example. Okay, we can see this is very simple example. There are two feature, the X and income, and we can, yeah, you can uh, try it. Yeah, this is senior, and he has the low income. So if we uh, uh, push the button, and it is get the prediction from the API, the server. Oh, it is risky because they they are young and get the low income. Okay, we can try with another for the safe senior and low income. Okay, we can uh, change this by senior and low income, and we can predict. Okay, oh, it is risky, and if we change the high income, yeah, medium or high income, it is safe. I think it is a very simple implementation of how we can build the supervised learning model in the easy method. Yeah. Okay, do you understand, my students? Mr. Asri, do you understand? Okay, I hope you understand. Uh, Although you doesn't have the background of the coding, yeah. Okay, I will continue my presentation. So you can try it by yourself, yeah. Uh, Especially you need to install the PHP, yeah, XMPP, and install the Python and create the model, and you can try it by yourself. Okay, so this is any question? Yes, sir, we get it. Okay, Andri Jakatiana Antonio. Thank you. So the question after we put the model is, so sir, how what is the explanation about the model? Yeah, actually, the decision tree is the one of the data mining algorithm, machine learning algorithm, that it create the trees and make the prediction based on those trees that has been created. So actually it is the wet apa ya, black box or wet box ya, wet box algorithm that we can see what is inside of the algorithm, what inside of the model. It is very simple in Jupyter ya. You can just call the plot tree from sklearn, and then you can just plot tree based on this model, and yeah, it is appear. We can see that if the it's 1.5, no, it is it's mean that we encode it first, yeah. The edge is actually young and middle x and blah blah blah, yeah. But after we encode, it can be divided into 0, maybe 1.5, and 1, and etc. You can try it by yourself, yeah, to see actually what is the representation of data after the encoding method. Yeah, you can actually run it, and you can see what is the data after the encoding process. So it is the different tree, yeah. Sorry, in the decision tree, this is safe. How it can be defined for the safe, because the edge is 1.5. Okay, I need to see what is uh, the data, yeah. So we can uh, read it clearly. Okay, you can see that the edge encode, it is no young, middle, X, and senior, but it's become numeric, yeah, numeric value. 2 for the young, middle X is become 0, and etc. So if H is lower or equal than 1.5, we can see that, oh, it's mean that low, yeah, low income, yeah, oh, high, yeah, high income, because it is 1, 2, 3 in the record of 3. This is for the high income. So if the X is sorry, the X is 0, the middle X, yeah, it is middle X, uh, and senior is 1. Okay, so it's mean that senior and middle X, and then the okay, it's mean that we to apa ya, to create the decision about the safe condition is only look at its attribute. As attribute is lower than 1.5, it means that middle X and senior, yeah, middle age and senior, it's become safe, whatever its income, whatever its income. But if the X is greater than that, we need to see uh, the other attribute, yeah, maybe in income, yeah. Okay, I think that is how we can read the decision tree. Okay, I will uh, continue my presentation. This is the example of our student, yeah, that's using machine learning to explore the financial data. From the first one, it is Riana, ya, Riana Kartika Pratiwi. She explore how the example method is uh, effective to predict the corporate bankruptcy. Okay, Riana is explore the ensemble method, ya, baking, boosting, ya, ada boost, ya, chat boost, voting classifier, baking, random forest, and like GBM, and she compare uh, how uh, how the algorithm is best for the corporate bankruptcy data. And then the second is Velani, ya. I think we can use the deep learning to uh, create the model for the credit scoring. Yeah. Uh, she explore how the deep learning, convolutional neural network, feed-forward neural network, and auto-embedder is used to explore how it can be effective for the credit scoring. Where is the better? And this is tapi published, ya, Vio, about the she compare the undersampling technique. We have the Tomac link, we have the edit neural snakeboard, we have the uh, random undersampling to uh, predict credit card fraud. Yeah, credit card fraud, and it's still waiting to be published. Okay, so I think there are a lot of the financial data, accounting data that can be inspiration, yeah, by the student to get the maybe final exam or final project, yeah, final project in the end of the yeah, in the end of the study, yeah. The two of this paper is published in IEEE, yeah, IEEE. Okay, this is unsupervised learning that I has mentioned before, and this is the concept how the clustering algorithm or unsupervised learning algorithm is uh, conducted. Yeah, I think we can see in the YouTube, yeah, for the illustration how the K-mean algorithm is running. We create the initial centroid first. Actually, this is the for cluster, and then it calculates from its node how it is near to this cluster or this cluster or this cluster, and after that the membership of the cluster is changes, and it's running again. Yeah, it is iterate again, update the centroid. Centroid is calculated from the average of that data, until there is no membership change to the other group. Okay, it's become convergent. The condition convergent is there is no changes again of its data to uh, change to the other group. So it is the convergent condition. I think it is illustration, very simple illustration that how K-mean is running. Okay, so and at the end of the clustering process, oh, sorry, it's still run. I need to close first. At the end of the clustering method, it's only two evaluation. The first one is it's calculate the distance, the total of the distance of that point in that group. If the total distance is very small, yeah, we can say that it is more apa ya, more density ya, the density very very crowded in that cluster. It is a good cluster. And for the one cluster and the another cluster, the distance is large, is very far away. It's a good cluster. How is how the cluster is bad? Bad if they are overlapping the data point from the one cluster to another cluster. It is bad cluster. So uh, in this example, we can see that it is a good cluster. There are three clusters that separate uh, from one cluster to other cluster, and for the intra cluster there is uh, similar. Yeah, there is a similar. They are more overlapping in one cluster. It is no problem, but overlapping between one cluster to other cluster, it is problem. So in this case, we can see that it is a very good cluster. Okay, and how about the uncluster is implemented in finance? Actually, we can see that for the left paper, we create the clustering method to grouping the uh, financial performance of the Israel affiliates company after 7 October, yeah, 2023. Yeah, we want to see how many group of those companies based on their uh, financial performance, and then we want also to segmenting the credit card behavior using the agglomerative clustering, and it is still to be published now. It is only sample that there are two sample. Yeah. Okay, and I think it is in the era of LLM, yeah, you know, LLM, large language model, and it is very popular. Generative AI is still happening topic now. Uh, and then the other one is the agentic AI. Yeah, the agentic AI actually is the extended of the LLM. Yeah, that's create the some agent that is create automatically uh, some process. Yeah. Okay. How the question is how it can LLM understand what we are talking about, and how can he answer uh, our question actually. Yeah. uh, Actually, computer cannot understand the image, cannot understand voice, cannot understand uh, text. They cannot understand it. but they can understand the number. That is the key. They can understand the number. So our job is convert the representation of the image, of the text, of the audio become numeric, become vector. Yeah. Uh, this is, we can see that the object is convert to the vector, whereas the vector is contain a lot of numeric values. And how it can be uh, transformed to vectorize. Now, this is the good question. How it can be transformed to vectorize? Uh, I think they are using embedding model. Embedding model. It is the example that lorem ipsum blah 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 blah. Yeah, with using the embedding model, it can be transformed into the numeric values. Okay, nah, uh, the numeric values, it represent the the distance between one text and another text. So we can see that in this slide, yeah, the tea, milk, coffee, it is very similar. Usually, person, if they are uh, talking about the uh, the drink, they are mention a tea. I like a coffee. I like a meal. So tea, coffee, milk is actually have the similar value of the vector because uh, in the lot of the paragraph, lot of the uh, text, it is a very similar, very near, very the same pattern. Yeah. Dog and puppy is also in the same pattern. Wolf and congress. So actually, after the embedding uh, model, we can see that the the word is uh, apa ya? A group ya, a group in their similar word because the value. How can actually it's answer the question before ya. How it can be, how computer can know this image is same, similar, this text is similar because the this value, yeah, this embedding value, this vector value. So in the x and y axis, we can put it the value, and we can see what is the distance between the one word and another word. And this concept is implemented not only in text but also in video, also in image. Yeah, we can see this. The green, it has the some number. Yeah, 0.69 and also etc. Yeah, and it is not only one or two dimension, but one or two, one one on or two values, but also a lot of dimension, maybe 100 dimension. Okay, and it's saved in the vector database. So this is basic of the LLM. This is the illustration on how the LLM Gemini or ChatGPT is answer our question. They learn from the book. They learn from the uh, image, the video, and it transform it into the vectorize, and it's saved into their server. And if we want to uh, ask something in LLM Gemini, maybe this is the example. Yeah. Hello Earth, and the the author of this apa this program is he create some some sentence before they read Hello Earth. They also read Hello World, and then they also read OpenAI Vector, document input, blah 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 blah. and it is transform it into the embedded word with the value with the score, and after that we can ask about if we type a hello earth, the LLM can give the answer based on its similarity. We can see that from the 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 sentence before, the similar one is to hello world with this score, yeah, point sorry 0.89 score. It is very similar. Hello Earth is similar to Hello World. So we can understand how the LLM can answer our question is perfectly because they are they have the sum of the data, they transform into vector, and they calculate the distance. So it can be represented by the score, and we get the answer by yes, that is this very similar with my question. Okay, so I think it is the interesting now yeah, interesting topic. If you want to explore more, you can uh, see how the word embedding is implemented in YouTube. I think a lot of the YouTube tutorial in there. Okay, I I want the student to share about your opinion. Please uh, use your handphone, yeah, and then uh, use QR code the reader, ya, QR code reader, and you can type what is your opinion about AI. Yeah, I using Padlet ya. It is the same method with Miss siapa ya itu ya, Bu Atri ya, yang pertama itu ya. Nah, lupa lagi saya. Oke,
Pembicara pertama, Pak.
Miss siapa ya?
Pembicara pertama itu Dr. Maizatul
May
Lidawati.
Zatul.
Ya,
Ya, Dr. May. I use
Dr.
the
May.
same method ya. Okay, this is you have to share your opinion. I want you to write your opinion about how do you think about AI. It is an opportunity or threat for your career, whatever your career. Maybe I want to become the accounting staff. I want to become a programmer. I want to become the regulator, advisor, and etc. Okay. You can write any whatever that you want to be. Okay, okay, this is from the Adventurous and Coffee. Yeah. I think AI is helpful, okay, and assist us, okay, in decision making in business, but I'm afraid about people losing interest in learning things or processing complicated tasks anymore as they are used to AI. Okay, thank you. That is a very good opinion, yeah, I think. Yeah. AI is helpful, but in the other side, our job is can replaced by AI. Not only for the employer, but also for the lecturer ini, Mas Astri. But I
Ya,
think
Pak.
uh, as far as we have the innovative, we have the creative, we can create more uh, opportunity of job, I think, yeah. Because the human is more creative than AI. Okay, don't worry about your losing your job, yeah. As far as you are the enhance your skill with the the literacy, yeah, you read a new book, yeah, you see some film and you make the creation, you can create the new job. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Anyone want to uh, share about your opinion, student? Nobody else? Okay, you can also read in the second, yeah, the second one. What kind of the implementation of AI that relate with your career? Okay, maybe AI in decision making. Okay, prediction. Yes. Okay, as I mentioned before, yeah. Okay, we can use AI to predict, to decision making, to create maybe uh, uh, some tasks, yeah, that help us to finish our job, yeah. Okay, charismatic koala. I think AI is opportunity for my career. Okay, you're optimistic, yeah. It's help make work faster. Okay, I agree with you. Easier, more accurate. Okay, some of some a task that maybe it is need a long, yeah, take a long time to finish it. But if we are using the AI, it can be finished uh, more faster, yeah, more faster, and we can do another part of job effectively. I think, yeah, we have to to collaborate AI as our secretary, maybe Miss Astri, yeah, secretary, or maybe our, yeah, assistant, yeah, maybe assistant. AI doesn't replace human, okay, but support us to be more productive. Okay, it is. I agree with charismatic, yeah. So don't worry about AI. Don't to be worried, yeah. But you have to be optimistic. Optimistic. AI is not our uh, apa ya? Our treat. AI is not our enemy. AI is our friend, yeah. AI is can help us to do more effective work and etc. Okay. Wah, Salda. I think AI is definitely an opportunity. Okay. Salda is optimistic also, yeah. It's make work faster and easier. Okay, especially is accounting tasks like the data entry and financial analysis. Okay, Salda, it is a great opinion. Instead of replacing us, AI actually help us work smarter, okay, make better decision. Okay, so yeah, I see AI as a good support, not a threat. Okay, Salda. Okay, uh, I think it's enough to uh, illustrate that the student is uh, optimist that AI did not replace their career, ya, Miss Astri, ya. The student still optimistic, still look that AI is not an enemy, AI is an collaborator. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the participant that participate in this opinion, yeah, to share the opinion. Okay, and yeah, maybe this is the some point. Yeah, I already give in the seminar, yeah, maybe last 2 week or 3 week. I forget it. But no problem. I will uh, quickly quickly explain, give the explanation about AI in accounting. The first one is AI can make the automatically transaction or automation transaction. AI can make the automatic transaction process, yeah, bank reconciliation, account classification, and what is the human's job? Yeah, human job is to verify the accuracy because AI is still not 100% accuracy. It still need to be verified by human, yeah, until now. Whatever it is. Uh, Maybe if we use the LLM, uh, might be 100%, but sometimes it is the hallucination explanation of AI. So we need to confirm it. We need to verify it. Actually, establish the accounting policy. It is cannot be created by AI. It is by human. Yeah. Human still have the power to create the policies, the regulation. Okay. Okay. This is the how the manual accounting process. The document is retrieved, and then we need to arrange the document by order by date maybe, yeah, and we need to scan. We need to save the document in arrange in the folder. We need to input the detail of this document in the accounting system. We need to create the bookkeeping entry, and we after that we have to reconcile the bookkeeping entry. There are 7 steps that we have to do, yeah, in the manual accounting process. But if we use the automated accounting process by using the AI, it can be decreased, yeah, only 3 steps. First, we need to receive the document, maybe via photo, email, or digital. And by using AI, it can extract what is in the document, uh, how much the price, and how it can be journal. It is automatically, and uh, bookkeeping is created. It is automatically. And then the second is intelligent audit and fraud, yeah, detection, that AI can analyze transaction to detect the anomaly or fraud. I mentioned in the beginning of that slide that we can uh, use the fraud detection technique to to predict this. It is the transaction is normal or fraud. Okay, that is important. Yeah. Okay, for the human need to be interpret the analysis result and assessing whether the anomaly it is the true or false positive or false negative. I think it's still to be verified by the humans. Okay, this is the uh, another example of how AI in accounting is implemented. Yeah, for the automated financial reporting, AI generate real-time report, interactive and visual summaries, and human might be the provide business context, the interpretation of the strategic, and the ensure the report comply with the regulator, yeah, maybe BSAK or IFRS, yeah, standard accounting. For the financial planning and forecasting, AI can be used to predict the forecast of cash flow, how the cost trend and profitability. Human can use that prediction to create the strategic decision, some expansion of the investment, rearrangement of the investment, and etc. Okay, for the risk management, AI can automatically identify the financial, compliance, and market risk pattern. Human can determine the mitigation, yeah, adapting to applicable business and the legal condition. I think the human AI collaboration it is the our next era. Yeah. And for the last, the accounting competency, yeah, AI can profit the data-driven recommendation how to work effectively, and human can focus on the value creation. Yeah, the consulting, the strategy, uh, rather than the repetitive work. It is the example that uh, Institute of Chartered Accountant in English, they offer the development program that focus on the AI, the practice courses can help the accountant uh, how to understand and implement the AI in the finance, in ethic, and the governance data. Okay, I think that's all. And the last one, I have the quiz, yeah, Miss Astrid. Uh, okay,
Yes, Pak.
I need to prepare quiz first, yeah. Teacher, okay, eh, okay. It is the last activity. Uh, it's on, yeah. Okay, can you see my screen, student?
Yes, Pak. It's visible.
Okay, please join myquiz.com and enter this code, yeah, 309137, because we need to record the presentation, yeah, and uh, the recording is need to get the certificate, yeah, Miss Astrid.
Yeah, Pak. Yeah, so students,
Okay.
join the quiz ya, join myquiz.com and then enter the code.
Alhamdulillah. I think the student is sleep, yeah.
No, Pak. So there are like more than 45.
Okay. Okay, thanks Andri, Rito, Nurhafizah, Fernando, Rahma, Safwan, Tarik, Vanessa, and Napas. I think you need to use the real name, yeah, to give the more apa ya. Uh, we need to identify your name uh, uh, easily, ya, Fuasu, ya. Because if you use the fake name, it is very hard to us to verify it is the true student or might be her parent or her sister or her brother. We don't know.
Yeah, I do agree,
Please
Pak. Hmm.
use the real name. Okay, we have 23 participants or 45. Okay, I still wait. Yeah.
Yeah, we have like more than 40 students, Pak, actually here.
Yeah.
40, yeah, around 40.
It is still half of all participants.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, okay, we will still wait. Okay. 27. Okay. Okay. 28. We still wait, yeah. Student. Oh. 29. Okay, 29. Once again, to get the 30 participants. It's similar to the driver that still wait for the passenger. Okay, I think it is enough, Miss Astrid. 30.
Yeah, I'll
Need
go with
to-
you, Pak.
Still increasing it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay,
So probably
we will wait.
they are waiting for
Yeah, we're
connection, maybe,
waiting.
Pak. Mhm.
Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, we will still wait, yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute, one more minute probably, ya, Pak.
Yeah, one more
Then we
minute,
can
yeah.
start. Yeah.
Okay.
So students, kindly use your real name, yeah, to join the quiz. And then we are still waiting for about a minute.
One minute left or 2 minutes left? Maybe in 9:25.
Okay, Pak. All right. So we're
1
waiting
minute left, yeah.
until, yeah, 9:25, yeah, everyone, Indonesian time.
Indonesian time. Okay. I think no passenger left ini. So the driver can ride the bus. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We have one student. So okay, I
Yeah.
think it is 9:25, yeah, Miss
Yeah, Pak.
Astrid. We can start. Okay, guys, you're ready? Okay. Okay. Nabila, Hapsari, and Jaka Andri. Okay. Next, yeah. We have totally 10 questions. Okay. Wah, okay. Jaka Andri, Nabila, and Hapsari. Okay, congratulations. We still have 8 questions. Okay, Jaka is still in the first rank. Rahma and Rizky. Okay, next. Oke, Rizky. Oke, next ya. Oke, next. Wah, oke, next ya. Wah, masih berjejer ini ya. Oke, next. Oke, the competition is getting compete ya. We have two left question. Oke, yes. This is the final question. Okay, I think it's the end of the assessment. Congratulations for Khairunisa, Elias, and Rizky ya. Rizky Ayuningsih. Okay, thanks. I will download the report first. Okay. Okay, Miss Astri, I think we are in the end of this section, yeah, today.
Iya, Pak. Thank you very much, Dr. Tora or Pak Tora, for the insightful presentation. So, probably we're going to have a Q&A questions, ya, Pak, ya? Or
Okay.
session before we leave or end this meeting. So, everyone, if you have a questions or something to share to discuss with Pak Tora, please, it's your time. If there is no questions, probably we're going to have a photo session. Oh, there's
Oh,
Andri. Hi, Andri. Good evening. How are you today?
Hello, everyone. I'm feeling great, and thank you very much. First of all and foremost, my name is Andri, and thank you very much for the wonderful session. Well, I would like to ask a question. Actually, if I'm not wrong, the AI learned based on maybe previous data, for example, for a prediction, maybe in an organization to predict like maybe the organization will meet bankruptcy later based on the operational activities. Well, actually, maybe the data may vary over the time. So, like for example, for the maybe 2 months ago, maybe the data value were a little bit low. So maybe the AI will predict that maybe we will meet bankruptcy later. But what if in case the data may vary, but in reality we will not meet bankruptcy maybe after 2 months, but the AI is still used with the previous data and then maybe makes maybe a wrong
yeah,
prediction.
wrong prediction.
How do we handle it?
Okay, thank you, Andri Jakatiana Antonio. Yeah, nice to meet you. And I think it's a good question. Yeah, and yeah, it's we can understand that uh, uh, time by time the model can also obsolete. Yeah, the the model of the data might be some a lot of factor of which can cause this problem. Yeah, I think we need to re recreating the model, yeah, based on the data and verify it first. Yeah, uh, not 100% true the prediction. Yeah, the it's it must be error. Yeah, it must be error. The model cannot guarantee that the 100% accuracy will be achieved. But I think uh, we need uh, to rebuild the model. Yeah, after we maybe we analyze the data and have uh, the new pattern. Yeah, some new pattern that it is only appear in this month. Maybe in last year this pattern is we don't have this pattern, but in this month the pattern is appear. So I think it is the task of the data analytic to analyze the data and create some experiment. Yeah, uh, uh, you can imagine maybe the version of software. Yeah, maybe in beta version. Yeah, alpha version. I think the stable version we use it, but parallel with we can use the stable one. The researchers can create a new model, yeah, a new model, and he experiment it, did the new model with the maybe some the algorithm or a new data uh, coming in the last 2 months, 1 month. Did the accuracy is increase or not? Gitu ya. If it increase, maybe we can replace the model with the newer one. But if the model is, I think it's not perform well, yeah, I think we can still use the old model. Yeah, maybe just like the software version is released, maybe beta version and the stable one. I think that's in my opinion, Andri. Maybe I'm wrong, yeah, maybe, yeah. But in my opinion, the model is need to be rebuilt again periodically, yeah, to handle the new pattern, to handle maybe the the uh different pattern than before, yeah. Maybe we need some attribute, some feature that uh, we only get uh, maybe in 2 months, maybe after there we have some application, we have some technology, so the feature is getting more complicated, yeah, and we need to rebuild the model. I think that's my answer, Andri. Hope it can answer your question.
All right. Thank you very much for the explanation and the clarification, sir. I really appreciate. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
So any other questions? Hello, students. I think there will be no questions, Pak.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Andri, thank you for the questions. And then, yeah, so I think if there are no questions, we are going to have a photo group, ya, Pak, ya, before we leave this Zoom. So
Okay.
everyone, kindly please turn on the camera because we're going to have a photo session for today's meeting, like chapter 3. So please turn on the cam because we're going to have a photo group together. Thank you for Cynthia, Cinta, right? Firna as well, thank you for opening the cam. So we're going to have a photo session, everyone. So please turn the camera on. Andrea as well, thank you for turning it on. Okay, so we're going to have a photo session. So please kindly turn on the cam for today's meeting, Chapter 3, AI and Machine Learning with Dr. Toraya. Okay. We're still waiting for you to open your cam.
The students still prepare their
Yeah.
face.
But they're still fresh,
I'm
ya, Pak, ya?
sorry.
Even at this hour.
Oh yeah.
They're still, they're
I'm
still
sorry, yeah.
fresh.
The student, we have to change the schedule and come back.
Mm. Okay, so ready, everyone? So put your best smile. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay. One more time, yeah? Okay. All right. Yeah. So thank you very much, Dr. Tora, once again for
Okay. You're
attending
welcome.
this
Thank
class
you, Andri.
with also fabulous students here. Okay, and then everyone, I'm going to share the feedback link, for today's class. Kindly wait a minute, please. Yeah, all right, everyone. So that concludes our chapter 3, AI and machine learning for today. So on behalf of the committee, I'd like to express our deepest gratitude to Dr. Tora Fahrudin, STMT from Telkom University, for sharing the knowledge and perspective with us today. Integrating AI and machine learning into accounting education bridges the gap between technology and finance. So a big thank you also goes to all participants for joining us and staying engaged throughout the session. So please don't forget to check the chat box. There you'll find the link for attendance and feedback form. Kindly fill it out as it is part also of the requirements to receive the certificate and also a way for us to improve future sessions. And of course, this journey doesn't stop here. We're inviting you to join the next class, Chapter 4, IoT and Cloud Computing, which will be held on October the 18th, 2025. So until then, thank you once again. Stay safe and see you all in the next session. Goodbye everyone and thank you very much Pak Tora. Terima kasih banyak
Thank you,
atas waktunya.
Andri.
Ya, sehat
Oke,
selalu
sama-sama.
Pak.
Amin, amin. Thank you, students, Andri,
Ya,
Irina, Torik, and all of the students ya. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank
Terima
you.
kasih
Thank you all.
Pak. Thank you Nur
Ya, sama-sama.
Hafiz for
Stay
sending us
healthy.
the time. Ya, Andri, terima kasih. Stay healthy katanya Pak. Baik. Thank you, Cinta.